You know what you need to do. You've read the books, you've listened to the podcasts, you understand the principles, you can explain to someone else exactly what habits would change your life, what beliefs are holding you back, what patterns you need to break, and yet you don't do it. Not consistently, not in a way that sticks. You set the intention. You feel motivated for a day, maybe a week, and then you're right back where you started, watching yourself repeat the same loops, feeling the same resistance, living inside the same emotional weather you've been trying to escape. And the worst part isn't the failure itself, it's the confusion, because you know better. You're not ignorant, you're not lazy, you understand the logic, you've had the insights. You've written in the journal, set the goals, made the vision board. So why does nothing change? This video is about that gap, the space between knowing and being, between intellectual understanding and embodied shift, between the part of you that sees the path forward and the part of you that simply can't walk it. We're going to explore why this happens, why most of the solutions you've tried haven't worked, and what actually has to shift for change to become natural instead of forced. This isn't a motivational video. I'm not here to pump you up or tell you to try harder. This is about understanding the architecture of why you're stuck and what it actually takes to get unstuck. Let's begin. Here's what most people don't realize. When you learn something new, when you read a self-help book, have a therapy breakthrough, or hear a piece of advice that clicks, that knowledge lands in your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is the part of you that thinks, analyzes, plans, and decides. It's logical, it's verbal, it operates in language and concepts, and it's incredibly weak, not in intelligence, but in influence. Your conscious mind controls about 5% of your daily behavior. The other 95% is governed by your subconscious. The part of you that runs on autopilot, holds your deeply ingrained beliefs, manages your emotional reactions, and determines what feels safe, possible, or true. This is why you can consciously believe I am capable while subconsciously feeling like an imposter. Why you can consciously want to be confident while your nervous system freezes in social situations. Why you can consciously set a goal while your deeper programming quietly sabotages it. The conscious mind knows. The subconscious is. And change only becomes sustainable when both are aligned. Most self-help approaches are aimed entirely at the conscious mind. Affirmations you repeat while your subconscious rolls its eyes. Goal-setting exercises that create a plan your deeper self has no intention of following. Visualization practices that feel good in the moment but evaporate when you face real-world resistance. It's not that these tools are useless, it's that they're incomplete. They're trying to reprogram the system from the wrong access point. Think of it this way. Your subconscious mind is like the operating system of a computer. Your conscious mind is like the applications running on top of it. You can open a new app, you can create a new document, you can set new preferences, but if the operating system itself has a corrupted file, a limiting protocol, a defensive firewall that blocks certain processes, the apps can try all they want. They're not going to override the deeper code. This is why people who are incredibly intelligent, self-aware, and motivated still find themselves stuck in the same emotional patterns year after year. It's not a knowledge problem. It's an identity problem. Your subconscious holds your identity, the silent story of who you are, what you deserve, what's possible for you, what's safe, what's dangerous. And that identity was formed early, often without your conscious input, shaped by experiences, environments, and repetitions that wired your nervous system in specific ways. If your subconscious identity says, I am someone who struggles with money, you can consciously decide to save, invest, and build wealth all you want. But your deeper programming will create friction, resistance, self-sabotage, and inexplicable failures until the behavior matches the identity. If your subconscious identity says, I am not the kind of person people respect, you can consciously practice assertiveness and set boundaries. But your body language, your tone, your energetic presence will leak the truth your subconscious believes, and people will respond accordingly. The subconscious doesn't argue, it doesn't debate, it doesn't care about logic, it just runs the program. And here's the frustrating part. Most of the methods designed to reach the subconscious are either inaccessible, time-intensive, or requires skills most people don't have. Therapy can work, but it takes years and the right therapist. Hypnosis can work, but it requires a trained practitioner and deep receptivity. Somatic work, inner child healing, psychedelic therapy, these are all valid pathways, but they're not simple, quick, or universally available. So people default back to conscious tools. They read another book, they make another plan, they set another intention, and nothing changes. Because the conscious mind is still trying to override the subconscious, and the subconscious always wins. Let's reframe this completely. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not failing because you lack discipline, motivation, or willpower. You are experiencing a conflict between two systems. One system, your conscious mind, has adopted new information. It has learned. It has grown. It wants to move forward. The other system, your subconscious mind, is still running an old program. It's protecting you based on outdated threat assessments. It's keeping you safe in ways that no longer serve you. And when these two systems are in conflict, the subconscious will always win. Not because it's smarter, but because it's deeper, faster, and more directly connected to your nervous system. Your subconscious controls your heart rate, your breathing, your stress hormones, your fight or flight response. When it perceives danger, even emotional or social danger, it doesn't ask permission, it acts. It freezes you before the presentation. It creates anxiety before the date. It floods you with procrastination when you sit down to work on the thing that matters most. This isn't self-sabotage in the villainous sense, it's protection. Your subconscious is trying to keep you alive based on the rules it learned when you were young, when survival meant staying small, staying quiet, staying safe. The problem is, those rules are outdated. The 5-year-old who learned "don't speak up or you'll be punished" doesn't need that rule anymore. But the subconscious doesn't know that. It's still running the program. The teenager who learned "people like me don't succeed" was protecting themselves from disappointment. But that story is no longer true or useful. Yet the subconscious hasn't updated. So here's the reframe. Change isn't about forcing yourself to act differently. It's about updating the subconscious program so that new behavior feels natural, safe, and aligned. When your subconscious believes what your conscious mind knows, there's no more internal conflict. You don't have to fight yourself. You don't have to rely on willpower. The action you want to take becomes the path of least resistance because your entire system is aligned behind it. This is what real transformation looks like. Not white-knuckling your way through resistance, but dissolving the resistance at its source. So what does it actually take to shift the subconscious? If we want sustainable change, the kind that doesn't require constant effort or vigilance, we need a solution that includes these core components. 1. Repetition without resistance. The subconscious learns through repetition. This is how it was programmed in the first place. Thousands of small moments, repeated messages, emotional imprints that became patterns. To reprogram it, you need repetition going in the opposite direction. But here's the catch. The repetition can't trigger conscious resistance. When you consciously repeat an affirmation like "I am confident," and your subconscious doesn't believe it, you create internal friction. Part of you hears the words, another part rejects them. The result is minimal change and often increased self-doubt. For repetition to work, it has to bypass the conscious filter. It has to reach the subconscious directly without activating the critical, analytical mind that says this isn't true. 2. Emotional and somatic integration. The subconscious doesn't just store thoughts, it stores feelings and body states. A belief isn't just a sentence, it's a felt sense, a nervous system pattern, a way your body holds itself in the world. Real change requires shifting not just the mental script, but the emotional tone and somatic signature attached to it. You need to feel safe in the new identity. You need your body to register the new belief as true, familiar, and comfortable. This is why cognitive insight alone doesn't stick. You can understand that you're worthy of love, but if your body still braces for rejection, the understanding won't translate into lived experience. 3. Consistency over time. The subconscious updates slowly. It's not designed for rapid change. It's designed for stability and pattern recognition. This means you need a method you can sustain over weeks and months, not just a few intense sessions. It has to be easy enough to integrate into daily life. It can't require hours of focused effort or the perfect emotional state. It has to be something you can do consistently, even on hard days, even when motivation is low. The best subconscious reprogramming tool is the one you'll actually use. 4. Targeted, specific messaging. Generic positivity doesn't cut it. The subconscious responds to specificity. If you're trying to shift a belief about money, you need messages that address money. If you're working on confidence in social situations, the programming needs to target that specific context. Broad, vague affirmations might feel good, but they don't create the precise neural pathways needed for targeted change. 5. A bridge between knowing and being. The ultimate goal is alignment. You want your subconscious to be what your conscious mind already knows. This requires a method that doesn't just inform you, but reforms you. Not at the level of ideas, but at the level of identity. The framework, then, is this. To create lasting change, you need a tool that delivers repetitive, specific, emotionally integrated messaging directly to the subconscious in a way that's easy to use consistently over time. That's the standard. Anything less is either incomplete or unsustainable. Now you might be thinking, okay, I understand the framework. I see why my previous approaches haven't worked, but how do I actually do this? And this is where most people get stuck. Because even when you understand what needs to happen, the gap between understanding and execution is massive. You could try to create your own subconscious reprogramming routine. Record your own affirmations, play them while you sleep, hope they sink in. But how do you know what volume to use? What pacing, what tone of voice, what background frequencies support subconscious receptivity? You could try meditation and visualization, repeating new beliefs in a relaxed state, but can you do that every day? Can you sustain it when you're stressed, tired, or doubting whether it's working? You could pursue professional hypnotherapy, but that's expensive, requires scheduling, and depends entirely on finding someone skilled who you trust. The truth is, most people know what they need to do, but lack a practical, sustainable system for doing it. They need something that works in the background of their life, something that doesn't require perfect conditions or heroic effort, something designed specifically to reach the subconscious without triggering conscious resistance. This is where structured tools become valuable, not as a replacement for your own inner work, but as a practical implementation layer that makes the framework actually doable. There are many ways to reprogram the subconscious, but if you're looking for something simple, accessible, and designed specifically for this purpose, I created a tool that might be worth considering: Stillpoint Journeys. Stillpoint Journeys is a growing library of guided subliminal audio experiences, recordings that embed positive suggestions beneath the level of conscious awareness. Here's how it works. You choose a journey that matches the belief, emotional pattern, or identity loop you want to shift. Confidence, self-worth, motivation, money mindset, emotional healing. Whatever you're currently working with, there will be a path for it. Then you listen. You can play the audio while you work, while you sleep, while you go about your day. You don't have to focus on it. You don't have to believe it. You just let it run. Each journey is designed to deliver the message beneath the noise of overthinking, layered beneath music or ambient sound at a volume your conscious mind can't detect, but your subconscious can process. This bypasses the critical filter, the part of you that resists or argues with new beliefs, and delivers the message directly to the deeper mind. Over time, with consistent exposure, these messages begin to reshape the subconscious program. Let me be clear, this is not magic. It's not an overnight fix. It's not going to solve your problems while you passively wait for change. But it is a structured implementation of the framework we just discussed. It delivers repetition without resistance because you're not consciously engaging with the content. It supports consistency over time because it's easy to integrate into your existing routine. It provides targeted, specific messaging because you choose the exact area you want to work on. And it creates a bridge between knowing and being by feeding new information directly to the part of you that holds your identity. Stillpoint Journeys is not therapy. It's not a replacement for professional help if you need it. It's not going to do the inner work for you, but it can support that work by quietly, persistently updating the subconscious blueprint while you focus on living your life. This is for people who understand that change happens at the subconscious level, are willing to commit to consistent daily use over weeks and months, want a low effort, high consistency tool to complement their growth practices, and are open to subliminal messaging as a valid method for mental reprogramming. This is not for people who are looking for instant results or a quick fix, want something that requires no effort or participation, are deeply skeptical of subliminal audio and won't give it a genuine trial, or expect a single tool to solve complex, multi-layered issues on its own. Stillpoint Journeys works best as part of a broader commitment to change. It's a support structure, not a silver bullet. If that resonates with you, it's worth exploring. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. The framework we've discussed still applies. You just need to find another method that fits your life and belief system. Let's bring this home. You are not stuck because you're broken. You're stuck because you've been trying to change from the wrong level of the system. Your conscious mind has done its job. It's learned. It's grown. It knows what needs to happen. Now the work is to bring your subconscious along, to update the deeper program, to align your entire system so that the change you want becomes the path of least resistance. That might involve subliminal audio, it might involve therapy, somatic work, hypnosis, or any number of other tools. What matters is that you stop fighting yourself and start working with the architecture of how your mind actually functions. You don't need another insight. You need integration. You don't need more motivation. You need alignment. And you don't need to force anything. You need to dissolve the resistance at its source. If Stillpoint Journeys feels like a fit, explore it. Give it a genuine try. Use it consistently for at least 30 days and see what shifts. If it doesn't feel right, honor that. Trust yourself. Find another path. But whatever you choose, choose something. Choose a method that works with your subconscious, not against it. Choose consistency over intensity. Choose alignment over force. You already know what you need to do. Now it's time to become the person who naturally does it. Take your time, think it through, and trust that you're capable of making the right choice for yourself. Thanks for watching.